Okay, everybody, it's finals time. The Masters Clash has started. The players are already in Paris, so we are down to the final four teams, and we're heading into the winner bracket first, obviously. This is the semifinals. And just to give you guys a little bit of an idea, so we have the two semifinals are both best of three series. The losers bracket match, the first one, the winners bracket final, and the losers bracket final. Those three games are best of five series, and the grand final is a best of seven. I'm obviously going to talk about this every single time we start a new match, but just that you guys get a little bit of an idea here. So we have a double elimination system. There's a lot of money on the line. I think it's 11,000 euros in total. Players are all in Paris. They arrived over the course of the week, have already met up, have gone to a couple of restaurants. There were pictures on Twitter of them heading to Korean barbecues and other stuff. And I'm pretty excited for this. Now, there's a little bit of bad news too. Nothing too crazy for the people that are watching this on YouTube right now, but initially we were told that we would have a clean feed, a clean video stream that shows us footage from the event itself, and that was cancelled this morning. So I was originally planning to, in the games itself, every now and then show like a small camera when they maybe have a look at the players or something. So I can unfortunately not provide you with that since that was canned, and therefore we are just going to focus on the in-game action, obviously. I'm going to let you know about everything that is happening, and if you're interested in more real-life stuff there, you should probably check out the players' Twitter anyways, because most of them are uploading pictures and are talking a little bit about the experience. This is literally the first offline event after the pandemic started. Obviously, most of the guys, they're either vaccinated or had a PCR test, and there's certain restrictions still for the venue and everything. But yeah, with all of that said and done, we're heading into our first game. Again, map number one of a best of three series, as we have 30k going up against Chili Mountain. We got Junkrat as our first pick, while Medivh was already banned. So Medivh's still in that weird area where he's either an early ban or he gets ignored completely, which is really interesting. Tychus, early pick, and I like it. I mean, again, when we're looking at the Korean meta, the Koreans, they love Tychus, right? When they see the Renegade, bam, he's picked. He's either picked or is an early ban, one of the two. In Europe, not quite the same priority, but at the same time, we're looking over on Infernal Shrines, and Tychus obviously gets even more power thanks to his ability to pop Odin after level 10 on the Shrine fights. That gives him a lot of additional pressure for the objective itself, and that's just fantastic. Stukov, after Blizzard fixed all the bugs, they disabled him for a while, is now of course back to business, and will play a huge role in this tournament too. Now, he is a fantastic support for zoning out the opponent, but also if you want to follow up on any kind of stun, with Imperius, for example, you can go straight ham here. Masquerade, yeah, he actually arrived in a bathrobe. So in case that you guys missed that, there was a little bit of a bet and some banter a few months ago that he had online on Twitter, and he was also talking with Michael Udall and a couple of others, and he got a bathrobe sponsored. I honestly don't know if he lost the bet or if he won the bet. I don't really know, because that guy is always like posting pictures in bathrobes and looks a little bit like a ninja. And yeah, so right now he is running around with a purple bathrobe, which is kind of fun. But yeah, good stuff. So he's coming in with Imperius, is one of the best tanks currently in the European scene. We have also the Birdie banned out, as we see Karrigan banned too. Now, there's a couple of familiar faces that you will also see at the tournament, because some teams needed an additional player to jump in and help them out, because others just couldn't make it at the weekend, or couldn't travel, or whatever. So we have Smexy playing at this point for Chili Mountain, and Whoopi will also make an appearance later on. But of course, this is all going to happen when we're jumping into game number 2, where we have the Hardos going up against the Donuts. So again, more and more will come together here. Chromie, she's in. Shut up. So the Chromester is in. We got Uther together with her. Yeah, if Uther isn't getting banned and you're targeting supports like Lucio and also Trashwing, then yeah, Uther makes an appearance here. The Smex Master. It's going to be pretty cool to see him here. And yeah, let's have a look. What are we going to get for the blue team? Final 2 picks. Ultralisk, Dehaka, and Anubarak. Yeah, good old Anubarak and Stukov. Now that's already a nice setup. You have stuns on Anubarak, you have a stun on Imperius, you have Stukov with a follow-up. And let's not forget, Dinu's follow-up on Junkrat is going to be absolutely crucial, because he's going to be the one to try and displace the target, just jump it back into the rest of the team and then take it down. On the other side, we have Garrosh coming in. Ladies, with that, we're set up. Infernal Shrines, it's map number 1, so without further ado, let's jump straight into the first match of the offline final of the Masters Clash. Game number 1 in the best of 3 between 30k and Chili Mountain. First game, Infernal Shrine is the map, and on the left side we have X-Ray for 30k on Stukov here at the Masters Clash Finals. Yeah, the offline event in Paris with Masquerade on Nubarak. We got Dainu on Junkrat, Ultralisk on Imperius, Dequaza is playing Dehaka, and over on the right side of the map it's Chili Mountain with Gian Blaze, Smexy on Uther. Azurite is playing Chromie. We got Bakul on Garrosh, on Make on Tychus. It was actually kind of funny because the players were obviously talking the entire time internally and were saying like, hey guys, once that we arrive, what are we going to do? Is everybody fine meeting up and getting some food together? And everybody's like, yeah, let's do that. And Ultralas came in and he's like, oh my god, we can go and eat pizza. And then I just wrote, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You're going to France and the first thing that you're going to do is eat pizza? What do you want to go do? Go to Domino's or what? What's going on with you? Yeah, so everybody started to make fun of Ultralisk immediately, but that thankfully settled at some point and I think they decided to go for Korean barbecue, which is maybe also not the most authentic when we're talking about France, but it's at least better to just go to the local pizza joint. So it was a little bit strange. Personally, I would have just said, go for some snails. I mean, seriously, the last time I was in Paris, we went for snails or just have like some couscous or whatever. But yeah, a lot of this stuff is absolutely delicious. But I don't know. Ultralisk wanted pizza. I didn't ask him if he wanted to have it with pineapple or not. But yeah, it was kind of funny. I mean, either way, Smexy, look at the money picks. Sexy Smexy right there. Money pick action. We got that Uther support, of course. Full support, by the way, so not even the main tank. We still got the setup with Garrosh. And here comes the first flip already as Muck is trying to take the cam. Careful. And there's the invade. The mine of Dainu already set up. And that was a beautiful steal on the camp. Now, of course, Chili Mountain, I mean, it was a bit of a weird season for them, wasn't it? Most of the season, they got their ass kicked by teams where you would have expected them initially to dominate. And it was Team Soundless, for example, that really gave them trouble. But towards the end of the season, Chili Mountain, they dug deep and they were able to really put into place to get them into 4th position and therefore qualify them through the gauntlet. So kudos to them. That was really well done. But for a long time, it didn't look good for them. So there was a very, very serious gap between the top 3 teams, between the Hardos, between the Donuts and 30k and Chili Mountain. But this is the offline event, right? So things are very different here. It's a completely different dynamic. Some people excel in offline environment. Some people just don't. They prefer to play from home. And now we'll just figure out how exactly this is going to affect both of the teams. It's not only about Chili Mountain's performance. It's also about what 30k can do here. So, yeah. New deck, new cards, and we'll see what they're going to do with this. First objective is announced, so we're going to figure out who takes the first one. Keep in mind that once level 10 drops in, it's going to be Tychus that we need to keep an eye on, because Odin is such a fantastic tool whenever we are heading into an objective fight, that this is going to be pretty important for them. But for now, it's all about the level 7 talents. The teams are going to keep some of their side laners on the auxiliary lanes to make sure that they can soak the experience for the next talent. And Dehaka, of course, has a slight advantage in that situation, since he can just tunnel in, buys him a few seconds, where they can turn the fight into a quick 5 versus 4. But as we already have everything set up here, there's the hit, another one. Masquerade gets attacked, good for him. Tries to look for the target. Dainu already following up with the mines, time and time again. And let's have a bit of a look who makes the first move here. Level 7 is nearly ready, and Dehaka is now at the top trying to take the camp down too, which he has successfully done. Yeah, Masquerade has to jump out. Oh, what a connect! Nice, Imperius with a play. The follow-up is there, the isolation of Gia, but he gets out with the jet propulsion. 29 against 24 on the objective. Level 7 kicks in, and there it is, the growing infestation. Blizzard's sexual innuendo on our boy Stukov, the Admiral. Yeah, and there's already the Frozen Punisher. Good for them. Nicely done. And with that, they're already starting to make their play right here, coming straight in and starting to go hard on this little fight. So, good stuff, everybody. Yep, coming straight in for a little bit of action, starting to take down the first wall. The towers are already nearly done. We have at this point, as you can see, the Punisher taken apart, so there wasn't really a whole lot of pressure that he could go for with it. But at the same time, also worthy to point out, we haven't seen a single kill yet. So teams have been a little bit more cautious here in the fight. Didn't really commit to anything just yet. For the red team, that makes a whole lot of sense because what they were trying to do is just wait for Odin to be ready for them. And they also fell behind in experience just by a little bit, so that was a bit of a problem. And, well, here comes the move and the kill. First blood is in. Nicely done. Garrosh is down. Gia is on the run. And once more, the blue team is trying to secure themselves an additional camp. They steal it away for the second time in a row. Nice. Good stuff. Very, very good stuff for them. Level 7 talent, we got the Oppressor. We have also, of course, the third camp up at the bottom of the map. Currently, 30k is painting the map blue, as you can see. Minimap, all of the camps more or less are taken, with the exception of the top right camp. This is the only one that the red team was able to lock in for themselves. Outside of that, they're suffering a little bit. Now, they're also falling behind slightly in experience now, and that's starting to become a problem as the level 10 abilities are getting a little bit closer. But the crucial part is really what's happening around Tychus later on. That's kind of the trump card of Chili Mountain on this map. It's one of the strongest picks that they had in their draft, which is also why they took it this early, of course. But now we got, first and foremost, the massive shove. We got the cocoon in, and a lot of good tools. But as you can tell, 30k, they get the heroic abilities and they immediately push. This pressure play that you see here right now is purely a result of them hitting the heroic abilities early, because they know that Chili Mountain just doesn't have the same talent here to defend. So they get some free damage against the fort. They didn't want to overstay here. They could have tried to take it down completely, but if in the meantime Chili Mountain gets level 10 and then turns the fight, there's always a chance that you lose a hero or two on the retreat. And then, of course, there's zero value for unit, backfires heavily. So they just go for the safe damage against the fort. They take the easy way, and then they retreat in preparation for the next objective, which this time is going to spawn topside. So now we got our level 10 abilities on both sides, which gives us Odin. Also got the Slowing Sands in and the Divine Shield for our boy Uther. Camps still taken over here on the left side as everybody is getting ready. Chromie is leading the charts with a 14,000. A lot of poke damage, of course, from the little dwarf in the back line. Always triggers people when I call her a dwarf. But again, fake dragon. So, 10,000 for Junkrat. And yeah, it's time to party. This is honestly the objective that we've been waiting for most of the time. First one was kind of interesting to see which team is going to set themselves slightly apart initially. But level 10 is where the dynamic usually changes. And even more so, as I've now mentioned multiple times, if you have a Tychus on the other side. So that's going to be pretty big. But well, here comes the fight and the flip and the kill. Beautiful setup by Backhold. The main tank at the front has done a fantastic job here to isolate the target. So with this, we have Stukov taken out. And without the support, there's just no hope for the blue team to get the objective. So instead, they're looking for value in the middle of the map and make a rotation to the already damaged fort and take it down. Well done. And down here at the bottom, another camp is taken. Yeah, that fight was kind of promising, and then all of a sudden Stukov had a very quick and short meeting with the Angel of Death and bit the dust. That was the end of that battle. 5 versus 4 without the support is not something that you normally want to engage into. Luckily for them, the death timers are rather low, so with 29 stacks to the name of Chili Mountain, we have the move towards the shrine by 30k. They haven't given up on this yet. They're trying to take control and close the gap. But even with a little bit of outside poke with the grenades and Chromie, they should be able to lock this one in. Chattering Teeth, always one of my favorites. Nothing looks more stupid. And here comes Odin. The better safe than sorry move by Macke. He is just coming in and says, no, 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 no. This isn't happening. We are going to take that objective. You're not going to steal that away from us. Are we going to just simply roll over and give you the objective after doing all of this work? I didn't think so. I didn't think so either. But there we go. They move in. They try to take the fort. Dehaka is down at the bottom of the map right now. And Blaze is securing the experience in the middle of the map. So some solid damage done here already. Each team has now picked up one of the objectives. There's the 13. The Riptire, baby. And yeah, they zone them away. Try to buy themselves a little bit more time for the defense. And the fort nearly falls, but it's not quite destroyed. Now, there's always a bit of a trap setup, as you can see, but, well, the fort in the mid lane has been taken out, so that was an important one. In terms of damage, let's have a bit of a look at what we're getting from the two main damage dealers. Jungle is sitting at 16,000 right now. And on top of that, we get the 90k for Chromie. Alright. Chromie looking good over here. And, well, what else are we gonna get now? We have camps again, up on the map. This is actually the first time that Chili Mountain got their own Khaldor camp. The first time that they got this one. Previous, actually, we can look at the experience too and have a bit of a glimpse at that. Because mercenary experience, because of those continuous steals on the camps and the control over the 3 Khaldor camps at the bottom of the map, the blue team has taken a significant lead in experience on mercenaries. Now, it is a little bit negated in other parts. Nice! The trap! They're trying to go for the Haka, and he has absolutely no chance. I mean, oh boy. Yeah, that was a massive gangbang against the Haka, not the good kind, I tell you that much. The problem is that 30k, this is not their first rodeo. No, they immediately realized that the Haka just didn't stand a chance, and they said like, wait, they're ganging the Haka with 5 people? That means there is nobody down at the bottom of the map to stop us from taking that fort. And to be quite honest with you, what would you rather have? The Haka on the map for a little bit longer to maybe soak a wave, if so, or your fort. So at the end of the day, that's a really good trade for 30k. That was a very, very nice effort. That definitely worked in their favor. Good for them. Very nice reaction. Epic Enter is now in play for Nubarak, so he can epically enter the opponent's backline and take them apart with a big stun here. Level 16 talents are not far off for Chili Mountain and should be ready for the next objective, which is of course the important part here. And it's a little bit more of a calm game. It's a calm start into the series. I mean, we only have 3 kills, we're 12 minutes in. We've seen some very kill-heavy games throughout the regular season, but of course now that you're really at the final event and it's about all the money, all the esports dollars, that's where you want to be a bit more cautious. And there's a little bit more reminiscence of the pace that we oftentimes saw also in HGC. Now, before anybody gets too excited here, now, first of all, RIP HGC. Yeah. Always sad. Always a sad moment. But the question always pops up a little bit. It's like, hey, what do you think about the level of play these days? Guys, Heroes of the Storm will never be on the same level of play again as it was in the times of HGC. All of these guys are just playing it a little bit at the side. And we don't have any full professionals anymore that can make a full-time living out of playing alone. Again, streaming doesn't count in that sense. So yeah, back in the days of HGC when all of the teams practice between 8 and 10 hours or more every single day, obviously the level of play was higher. But we still have some really solid games these days, and especially here, both teams approach this very cautiously, trying to not engage into too many unnecessary fights where they could fall behind. But the fight over the objective is definitely necessary. So here, we're gonna see the play with 16 versus 16 talents and the attempt to lock this one in. The Haka is still at the top defending because another fort is already under pressure, and then Nubarak is also getting pressured, but the Cockroach makes it out. The Riptide with a little bit of extra damage as the Cocoon comes down on Uther and traps him immediately. Nicely done. Everybody a little bit low on the side of the red team, but the blue team is also suffering some significant damage. Backhol is moving in, looking for an opening to get a kill, but the blue team locks in the Punisher, and the Arcane Punisher is traveling through the map. The camp at the top also still alive. The Haka had to go down to try and help the team out, but that means that another fort was lost. And that means every single fort on the side of Chili Mountain has been eliminated. Every single one. So now the pressure play through the bottom of the map is going to aim for the keep itself. And there's a very solid chance that they're getting good damage here. Can they get the kill though? That's the big question. Already Stuka with the follow-up after the initial jump on the Punisher got triggered. Baited him over the wall, obviously. Level 20 talents are still a bit far off, so we're not going to see them in play for this battle over keep number 1. But the fountain is down. There's the jump. No follow-up this time. Actually, they're trying, and they're setting it up. The drag. The Divine Shield from Smaxy comes through and saves Garrosh, but it doesn't look good for the keep. They want it, and they're gonna get it. The keep is down, and Chili Mountain is losing more and more ground in this game. More and more problems for them here. as they are losing map control. And 30k in the lead in experience, looking better and better by the minute. They're taking control over this. Their goal now is to get level 20, ride that advantage with the Storm talent a little bit further, and put eventually Chili Mountain into checkmate position where the red team just doesn't have any options anymore. We're 15 minutes into the game, meaning catapults are slowly but steadily starting to become a bit of a threat at the bot lane. Obviously, it's not too much of a problem yet, but that will change as time continues. And, of course, on top of that, we now also have very good map control on the side of 30k. I mean, look at the minimap and you can see that all the lanes are pushed out very aggressively. They have taken more or less all of the camps on the map with the exception of the top right Shaman camp. Could maybe take some of those walls down too to eliminate vision even further and make sure that Chili Mountain just has no idea on the map. And that's exactly what X-Ray is starting to do here. So taking the vision fully away from the opponent. Super important at this moment in time. You want to keep them guessing. You want to keep them in a position where they never really know, is there a trap coming? Are we running into our doom here? Are they going to try and invade somewhere and can't send isolated heroes out on the map without being afraid of them getting ganked up on? So right now we got the level 20 talents in, and with that we have the top off after the super strain on level 16. A Nubarak with a rewind so that he can use epic enter twice in the fight and other stuff too. Impervious. And we got the Contagion plus their Cannonball. And what do they do with a level 20? Exactly what they're supposed to do, what they did with the level 10 as well. They are pressuring a little bit. You know, they're not going too deep here. You want to prevent Garrosh from getting an easy kill by traveling too close to that wall and then allowing him to flip you over. So they're just staying at a distance, they're getting some easy damage in, and that allows them to take the wall down. Not a lot, but again, it matters. Like, you slowly but steadily take small advantages and those add up over time. So very, very nicely done by them here. And with that, we are already getting set up again. Also, guys, once again, a little bit of a reminder here. After the Masters Clash, after we're done with the event, there's a new event that is starting up, and that is the X Cup. The X Cup will feature in total 10 qualifiers that are open to everyone that wants to sign up and play. We have 4,000 euros of prize money for the event, and there's going to be a 3-day playoff final with all of this. X Cup is also pretty special because it is sponsored by a community member that wants to give back a little bit and has been a Heroes of the Storm fan ever since Alpha. So if you want to have more information on that event, you can head over to Khaldor.tv. All the qualifiers are linked there if you want to participate in some of them, or if you want to know when exactly the coverage starts, since all of the games are of course also going to be broadcasted on Twitch and YouTube. So you can have a look there. It's always going to be on Wednesdays and Sundays. And oh my god, and Nubarak! That was a quick kill here. Yeah, that's the way that you can come back into a game like this. Catapults at the core, on the other hand, could pose a bit of a problem. Two already down at the bottom of the map, and the shields are falling. The mid lane is getting attacked too, and there's the ping already as they're realizing, guys, we need to do something about it. The blue team is now moving down as top side. The control has been taken of Chili Mountain. Yeah, Tigers is moving down here. 3 catapults. Shields are gone, but they're not making any moves yet. The keep is a little bit exposed as well, and now they have to send more heroes back. And that's exactly what's happening. They're going for the Hearthstone. Chromie cancels. Everybody else is on the run. They're going for the keep in the middle in an attempt to take another one down and expose the lane here. 10 stacks towards the objective. Dino in a bit of pressure as Maka is moving in and tries to get the kill, but we have the flank coming up too. They're checking for it, but X-Ray is going to be hit hard. There it is, the stun and the follow-up kill. A stagger death against X-Ray, and all of a sudden Chili Mountain has, maybe not turned it around yet, but they are on their way. They get the kills. They have 4 against 1, but they really, really need to save the keep. Boys, play someone, please. Uh-oh, this is not looking too good. That keep is not making it. 2 lanes pressured by catapults now. That's a problem. Dehaka down on the bottom of the map. The pressure is coming. Of course, the objective top side is going to be taken by the red team. But can Chili Mountain turn this around? This is game number 1, everybody. Game number 1. So this is going to get a little bit spicy here. I don't know what to tell you. 4 kills to 1, 40,000 damage by Chromie nearly. Pressure at the bottom of the map continuously with the Haka pressuring it. More camps in the middle, catapults already on the core. And the red team, they won't be able to end. Unless they get a... I mean, they need multiple kills if they want to end this now topside. So there's still a lot of pressure on Chili Mountain. They definitely have a glimmer of hope now, but I'm not so sure if this is going to work for them. Look at the minimap. The lanes are pressuring hard, and oh, Garrosh backhold, he's dead. Hashtag not my war chief. Garrosh is dead, and now the chase is on. They want the Smex Master, and they get him. Smexy is down. The lanes are still pressured. They don't give a shit anymore about the Punisher. Instead, they want to go for Smexy again. His redemption kicks in on Uther. That's 2 down. Same time, the Keeper's fallen, and the Punisher is making it towards the core. But that's not the only thing that is attacking cores. On the right side of the map, we have catapults moving in on 2 lanes. Here comes Odin. They're trying to defend. Punisher is still doing some work here, and guys, he can do some serious work. The core is falling, and the blue team, they need to get their shit together and really start to take this one down, because this could be a problem too. Core is down to 50%. They didn't think that it could end it, but with the catapult in the back, there might be a chance. 32%, 27%, Stukov down, the catapult is still there, 23%. They're trying to go for it, but the first one's already down. That's a kill against Imperius, 17%. Are you fucking kidding me? 92. The wave is coming in. They're trying to head back, and it's over. It's just over as the Winions take it for Chili Mountain.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2, Towers of Doom. I mean... Didn't I tell you at the beginning that in an offline environment, sometimes things have a bit of a different dynamic in how they just evolve? I feel this is exactly what we saw there. 30k just threw the game away. Now, people are always, when they see a team losing, oh, what a throw, what a throw! And most of the time, it's not a throw, it's just one team winning. A throw is literally when you are massively ahead, and then you make some dumb mistakes and you lose the game because of it. So the last game was a textbook throw, because the blue team pretty much had this one in the bag, and then they were like, you know what? Let's just attack the opponent's core, not care about an objective 18, 19 minutes into the game. And that Punisher and the Catapult just annihilated them. The first thing that happened while they were trying to go for the core is that they lost one of their heroes, and then they lost the second one shortly after, and that was the end of it. So, 30k, let's be honest, they fucked up big time. Now, this is the best of 3. If they win 2 in a row, they're Gucci. But if not, then they're going to be the first team to find themselves in the losers bracket. Now, obviously, there's a little bit of also dynamic that is now coming with this. Can you build up the momentum, for example? The ban is still on Medivh, by the way. Against the blue team, we saw that already in the first draft. And here's the Brightwing pick. Towers of Doom again. You want to have map control, you want to have a little bit of CC, so we're already getting all of that said and done. But the ending of game number 1, I gotta admit, the second... I told you during the cast, the second they moved away, I'm like, not so sure about this. But, yeah, until then, they played a fantastic game. They played it controlled, they played... I mean, again, it was like just solid performance. Very nice control on the map, good team fights, they took the forts, they took 2 keeps. Very well done. Even when they got heroes ganked on the other side of the map, they didn't panic, they didn't try to defend, they just looked at it and said like, wait a second, if everybody's here, we can get value there. So they played this really well, and then it was just that one big mistake towards the end of the game that costs them the first map. Now, we have Anubarak and Imperius set up for the other side, so it seems like Chili Mountain is taking a bit of a page out of the book of 30k, out of the playbook. We have Urel and Falset now on the other hand for the boys in blue as they're trying to bring this back. If Anubarak starts with the Cocoon, you can try to gust away. Maybe they're going for a couple of isolation plays themselves here. And then we're going to see what they can pull off with that. But yeah, time will tell. Stitches gets banned. A little bit sad about that. Gorge into Gust would have been cool. Yeah, we can expect quite a bit of Stitches this tournament, I would assume. We've seen him more and more after those changes. But it's also cool to have Imperius back, not gonna lie. He was always kind of fun. Maybe a little bit too strong in general. Yeah, Smexy played also his Uther in the last game, and this time there's no additional follow-ups done. It's a lot of CC already. If you have Anubarak plus Imperius, that's already quite a lot. If you add Uther to the mix, then you have someone who's a really beefy tanky at the front, adds an additional stun, can extend that CC chain that you're trying to build up there. But that's also the end of the of the bans, and we have Zeratul plus Malfurion. Yeah, Azerite, I don't know, like his Zeratools are a little bit hit or miss, I gotta say. Sometimes he is just playing a godly style, and sometimes it seems like he just doesn't find into the game, doesn't find his rhythm. So we'll see what we're getting here today. Ultralisk with Tracer. Yeah, and they got Masquerade on Tyrael. Judgment Hinterland Blast. Let's go! But yeah, beautiful. Okay. So, what is Mark locking in for the last pick for his team? If they lock in a win for Towers of Doom, then it's a 2-0 and they move on to the winner bracket final. And there we have Cassia, Mark bringing our girl back. And with this, everybody, we're going to head into game number 2, Towers of Doom, second map in the best of 3 series here at the winner bracket semi-final between 30k and Chili Mountain. Game number 2, Chili Mountain. Gonna try to lock in that second victory to move on to the winner bracket final. On the left side, on Towers of Doom, we have the blue team with Ultralisk on Falstad, Extra and Brightwing, Masquerade on Tyrael. Dino is zipping around on Tracer today. Vroom, vroom. Pequaz on Urel, and on the right side, Gia with Zeratul. Okay, Backhold on Anubarak, Azerite on Imperius, Macke on Cassia, and Smexy on Malfurion. Good shit. I'm excited for this one. Blue team played a fantastic first game, but then they made a huge mistake towards the end that cost them the first map. And now, of course, they gotta play catch-up. And we're gonna find out if they can. So, let's have a little bit of a look. We're looking at Cleave on level 1. Bit of a setup down to the bottom of the map as everybody is starting to lay small traps already. Roots to just slow down the rotation, just a little bit. You just want to get a bit of an advantage. So we have a pause, and already at the beginning of the game we had a small pause here. So again, all of the players are obviously playing in an offline environment, or like on stage, but obviously there is no real offline mode for Heroes of the Storm. There never was. You always have to have that active internet connection. So maybe we're looking at some technical difficulties where a keyboard doesn't properly work, or they have some issues with sound or with communication. But it could the worst case scenario is always that you have some connection issues that might affect the entire venue. Normally, of course, when you have any kind of online qualifier, there are so many different things that can really happen because 10 people playing are sitting usually at 10 different connections. But if the connection at an offline event is affected, then you're in deep trouble. But as it seems, it's just a bit of some technical glitches on the peripherals, and therefore we are already back to business and can have a look who takes game number 2 and who gets the first couple of kills here. The last time they did actually, I mean, the last game was a little bit slower paced. Everybody played it incredibly safe and cautious at the beginning. But we'll see what they can do right now. This is going to pick up a bit more because we kind of expect that, given that we have Zeratul and also Tracer here. Especially if you look at all the CC that Chili Mountain brings to the table now. They have a lot of aggression. The dive with the Nubark, follow-ups on Imperius. It's a very strong foreman that they're running here too. Now Zeratul isn't with them. Cassia wants to stack, and Zeratul is now trying to deliver the experience, roaming between 2 lanes. As the red team occasionally also rotates their own heroes into the middle of the map to help them out a bit with us. Yeah, but here comes the birdie. Maybe a little bit overzealous, trying to force a fight here that doesn't really break out. They got the early level 4, but they don't get an opportunity to set the fight up. So, still sitting tight here. The Cleave build continues, by the way. And Dino is just zipping around. Dino is just moving in, moving out. We currently got the hammer gains in. Got the pulse generator. Everybody is already diving in down here. Marker wants to get some damage in against Tracer. And we still have those small skirmishes where the teams are just exchanging a few blows. But it's not really of any consequence yet. Nobody's fully committing to the kills yet. We don't have a Nubarak diving in deep and Imperius following up on it. They're looking for opportunities here, of course. And those will very soon happen again when we're talking once more about the pumpkins. But even Tyrael gets attacked. Okay, so Brightwing helps out. X-Ray on the Fruit Fly. He gets away. Triple Altar up on the map. 11 stacks now for Cassia. Marke is working it. Falstad, of course, the global that we have in the game. It's a double global for the blue team. That's going to give them a lot more map control as this game continues and can, especially in the late game, make the difference between win or lose. Now we have an exchange in altars, and that puts Chili Mountain ahead a bit, because they still have their own altar at the top right. And especially in the early game, this is usually not claimed at all. I mean, we don't have an A team in here, so it's not going to be a 40-0 or something. So that top altar is therefore eventually taken by the red team, as you would normally see here. Anyways, with Ultralisk now moving straight up top side, let's have a bit of a look what they can do here. Nothing too crazy. Again, you get the secret weapon now after Boomerang has become baseline, the old school style. So you have that now. And still got the wave clear. And of course, if you make it towards the structures, thanks to secret weapon, you can get some extra damage in, because that's the ideal test scenario where you get those extra hits. Now we have Seeker in the dark. Everybody is slowly just picking up the pace here with the Divine Steed coming in, the Swift Retribution, everything that you would expect to be dropped here. So far, not a single kill, but we're definitely going to get closer to that. And here are the two camps. I talked about it a moment ago. Now that we have the pumpkins back up on the map, there is all of a sudden a little bit of potential. Azerite got nearly chased down here. And look at Ultralisk. He wants to pop up a little bit. He's been struggling for like months and months and months with this internet connection, and now lately it was finally fixed. That helped him a lot without all of those disconnects that he suffered. So now he has a pretty stable connection, but of course now that you're playing at an offline event, he can even more so prove himself. Smexy, careful! And also Ultralisk himself, I just praised him a second ago, and now he's first blood in the game as Chili Mountain wants some chicken and they get it. Nice. There we go. The chicken is down. They wanted chicken wings and they got a few. The bird goes into the KFC bucket, and that's some easy dinner for the red team. Nicely done. Good stuff. 19 stacks for Cassia by now. Here's also the altar coming up. The Zeratul is slowly coming in, and they're going to look for the kill. Dequaza, hoppity hop. The Space Goat is coming through and is trying to put the pressure on, successfully I might add. And now we're looking at that 5 versus 5, and it is on, baby. Backhult low, and Tracer rips him apart. Dino is zipping around like a monster. That's always the best thing. If you have low ping, you know that you can just rock it with a Tracer, with a Zeratul. This is the beautiful thing if you play in a no ping environment. So fantastic setup here for 30k. And of course, Dino, he's known for his Tracer plays, he's known for his Zeratul plays, and now here at this offline final, he can really bring the full force and power into play. Level 10 is kicking in, and that should allow... Nah, the gap is really small. Maybe if they get an isolation somewhere, but I don't really think so. We got no surprises here thus far. We got the blink heal. The bubble, by the way, that might be a little bit of a surprise. So the bubble is in for isolation plays. Again, if you're looking at the European scene, normally when we're talking about Zeratul, it's all about the might of the Nerazim, and you trying to get easy kills in against heroes like Falstad, for example, but even a few of the others that we have. But the isolation plays, more something that you see on the NA server, but even in Europe it gets occasionally played. If you want to go for these isolation plays with, let's say, Cocoon, for example, and then also the VP, you can make some pretty sweet plays with this as well. Buys you a bit time too, but it's definitely not the standard that we're seeing. Now, the only one that has held back his ult is Tyrael, and Judgment isn't a meme anymore. Judgment can be played. Now, there's no real follow-up in the sense of a Hinterland Blast, but that was more of a joke during the draft anyways. But we have seen sniper compositions like this. So Judgment is something that you can definitely go for if you want to, and you want to go for an aggressive style. Talking about aggression, there's the stun, there's the follow-up, and the Fruit Fly got shit on. So, yeah, that thing needs a shower. Easy kill. Chili Mountain with a great rotation, and there's Judgment. Nice! Little bit more aggression for Masquerade. I'm a fan. Awesome. Yeah, Judgment, it was a meme for the longest time and for a good reason, but these days you can make some more aggressive plays with it. And honestly, even if for a lot of comps that you're going to see, it's still better to head into a Sanctification. As a viewer and just a fan of esports and Heroes of the Storm, Judgment is just fantastic because it's just fun. It's just a really, really fun setup, and if you have a team that can do a whole lot of work with a good combo, then it's just beautiful to watch that. And there's some burst damage coming out of this one way or another. I mean, you still have a little bit of damage from Falstad. You have Tracer who can also move in. So it's not like they don't have any follow-up whatsoever. If they can, for example, pressure Smexy, that's fantastic. If Malfurion steps out a little bit too much and all of a sudden you have, Superman flying straight in his face, you know there's a problem. Yeah, Rayquaza, look at him. He's already flanking that a little bit. They want to go for Smexy, Judgment! And yeah, that did not work at all. Instead, Tyrael gets attacked and Masquerade is dead. Yeah, that didn't work out. That did also not quite work out, so that backfired heavily. But honestly, it was kind of funny, so we're going to take another look at it. Yeah, so here, look at this. So first of all, they're not getting the kill. Then second, he gets kidnapped, and then he wants to jump out, and even that doesn't really properly work. So he falls short, and he dies a painful death. And Smexy is just looking at him, is like, not on my watch, bitch. That ain't happening. So yeah, good stuff. Baited into tower range, and then annihilated right there. The other level 13s, the Law and Order candidate is in the house. Tyrael was always a pompous ass, let's be honest about him. I mean, you can... Honestly, I always think that Tyrael is German. Tyrael is German. Tyrael is one of those nitpickers that works for some kind of government agency where he sits at a desk all the time and just tells people, the rules, there has to be law and order. You've been judged and you have not been deemed worthy. That's Tyrael for me. That's always been Tyrael for me. That always will be Tyrael for me. You can totally see that. I mean, if you can't see that, I don't know what's wrong with you. Like, that guy is so arrogant and he's just... well, he's part of why they got the kill. So Anubarak at least apparently didn't quite measure up to his standards, but still, I'm not taking anything back what I just said about the character. Tyrael is always a weirdo. So, there it is. But yeah. Anyways, now that we have 2 kills to 3, the party is really on. I mean, we got action on the map. 37 stack for Cassius is already looking decent on the stacking process for her. Nothing crazy. Just a little bit behind, but still, it's starting to add up on the damage numbers. The shots are being fired, and that is the small lead that 30k takes. Now, keep in mind where we are. This is a best-of-3 series in the winner bracket. The first 2 matches that you will see in the Masters Clash Finals are best-of-3. After that, we're switching into best-of-5 mode, and once we're heading into the Grand Final, it's all about the best-of-7. But for now, it means that if 30k loses this map, it is lights out in the winner bracket for them. They would drop down into the losers bracket, and this is definitely not where you want to be this early in the tournament. So now the engage is there again. The aggression. Zeratul, Gia jumping in. Another stun and Dino jumping out. Me likey. Yeah, good stuff. Nice evades. Nice pressure from Chili Mountain. They gained some momentum on the first map. They definitely got a bit more confidence now that they're heading into this. Tracer eclipsing the damage output of Cassia still. My dad. So we have a bit of a gap between the two of them right now. Good for them. And here comes the play. Dino getting attacked again. A little bit low. X-Ray also. A Cocoon and X-Ray. They want the Fruit Fly. They're getting the Fruit Fly. They're diving deep. And they want more. And what a gust! And a kill! 1 down. Can they get more? And indeed they can. The end of Cassia. That's the end of Imperius, and they're gonna get another one. Gia is also dead. Zeratul eliminated. Only Bakul gets away. 6 players died in that fight, and now the altars are coming up. And of course, we're gonna take another look at how all of this started. The gust into the corner. The easy kill against Malfurion after the red team dived for Brightwing. Cassia dies. And after that, it is Imperius that gets attacked next. And 4 in total die on the side of Chili. Masquerade! And he gets it! They steal it away! And they're taking the big hits, boys. 16 to 28. What a lead. And they're getting another 4 shots fired in just another second. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, 30k. They're opening the game up all of a sudden here. Epicenter is in for Nuburak here on level 16. We got the Nature's Balance, the Void Slash, of course. And the blue team, yeah, 30k. They want it now. They had such a fantastic opportunity in the first game, but they totally underestimated that late game Punisher and just blew it. But now they are going for the W. They want the win here. They 1-2 force map number 3, and currently things are looking good. Another altar claimed or the boss taken, and you will drop Chili Mountain down into the single digits. So yeah, that's what they're going to try and do. But anyways, we got 6 kills to 5, 18 to 17. And here's again the next fight. Uriel already jumping in as they're trying to go for Azerite. Imperius is low. There's the Gust Judgment. And everybody's low on the red team. The Void Prison Brightwing is down. And they get the double kill. Brightwing and Uriel are both eliminated. Wow. That did not look good initially for the red team. They were all low, but they get the kill and they get the camp. Really well done in that fight, and full chaos. I mean, they went for everything. The VP was out there, Brightwing gets isolated and annihilated, and then they follow it up with the Uriel kill. Now they have the upper hand here, and it's a back and forth. I mean, time and time again in this series so far, we have the tides turning, and as you can see, the red team now with all of the momentum as they are moving in and trying to go for their setup. The fight is in, the kills are taken, well played. And with that, we have now the altar also claimed. So, one altar down, second altar down. Took a look twice at that little thing. It was a pretty crazy fight, honestly. So now the top right and the bottom left have been exchanged, which means that Malfurion just delivered 4 shots, as you can see here. Gets 1, gets 2, and there's still the boss up. 20 against 12. Alright, 20 against 12 now. Still the play at the top as Gia is trying to go for it. We have also another setup. They're trying to go for another kill against Azerite, and they get him. That's the kill right there against Imperius. The blue team not too impressed by that little setback. Red team tries to reclaim their top altar, their top bell tower, sorry. But of course at the bottom of the map the response is instantaneous. They're going for it as well. Teriel now with the Angel of Justice. And we got the wind tunnel. These isolation plays are pretty solid. So we had a very good gust earlier that led to 4 kills in total. But where are we headed from here? Level 20 talents now on both sides. Shadow Mending is in. Rewind, of course. We got the Brand of Solarian, Infinite Lightning, and Serenity, and more pressure from 30k as they move to the bottom of the map, trying to take another one. 20 points to 12 right now. Situation is already here, and off we go. They're getting it. Marke is sitting down at the bottom of the map. He's in trouble, but they're keeping him alive for so long. Eventually, he still dies, and Snexy's not making it either. 2 down. Beautiful flank, and that could be the beginning of the end for Chili Mountain in game number 2. Here, the altar is at the bottom of the map. Brightwing is already moving in for the next camp. Boss is up 2. It's a 5 versus 3. Altar, they're going to channel it first. Are they going to make the play for the boss? This is going to drop Chili Mountain down into the single digits. They will have 7 points after this is said and done. The shots are fired and they connect. At the top side, Uriel, yeah, finds Gia. Another 22 seconds. And what's the play? They want control. They want control. They're not going for the boss. They go for control. They want more bell towers, and they're getting for the bell towers. At the bottom of the map, Imperius is already starting to escort some minion waves into tower range so that they can try and take the bell tower down. But at the top, they're working on the last one. They want to start the barrage up and attempt to take the lead here. Masquerade is moving down. They want to defend this for as long as they possibly can. Boss has still not been taken. 6 bell towers to 2. Cocoon. I'm not sure if this is going to work for them. The birdie could fly down, and here comes Falstad. They're trying to go. Oh, the polymorph, and they kill. They kill another gust, and they're going for the next big fight. Marke is down. They're trying for a counter kill, but they cannot get it. So now they defend this bell tower for a little bit longer. Nicely done. I mean, initially it's a Nubarak that wants to try and engage, but he gets killed. And look at that nice gust coming in from the side here as they're coming in for the quick kill. Beautifully played, and that gives them such a huge advantage now that it's nearly impossible, I would say, for Chili Mountain to recover. I mean, let's face it, there's 2 altars incoming. We have 23 seconds for the next Mighty Gust. All you got to do is buy a little bit of time for the altar channels. One is more or less going to be theirs anyways. It's 16 seconds, and Nubarak is back in 20. That's a 4-second gap, and Cassia is out for even longer than that. So they are in real trouble, especially since a single altar and a boss would already be enough for the victory here for 30k. So here we go. Altars are ready. X-Ray is going for the first one. And this is where the real fight starts. They have to delay. And Ubarak is back. He needs a little bit more time. Shots are fired. They're going to be down to 1. Bam! And here comes the pumpkins. He needs to delay this. No, Smexy, he's trapped. Zeratul is down. The Smex Master eliminated. 2 dead. Anubarak still trapped at the bottom of the map. And with Cassia also down, this is game. This is the lead. Nicely done. Well, it's not the lead, it's a tie. The 1-1 as we're headed towards game number 3 in this best of 3 series. The semi-final in the winner bracket of the Master/Finals. Game number 3, Tomb of the Spider Queen. This series deserves a third game. It definitely does. So with that, we're now heading into Tomb of the Spider Queen. Because it was a lot of back and forth. I kind of like it. And even in map number 2, for some time it looked like, hey, Chili Mountain might just bring this back. They're looking pretty solid here. They're doing some work. What can they now pull out in the second game? Can they maybe get 2-0 victory? But then we had 30k stepping it up big time, and they went in and just dropped them. So now we have our third map coming up. And, well, this is for all the marbles, of course. But not quite. You still have the loser bracket to go through if you lose here. But this is definitely a nice start into all of this. So let's have a bit of a look and see where we're going with it. But right now, we have Junkrat first of all banned out. We also got the ban on Medivh. I mean, this seems to be just a total theme right now that they don't want to go up against the Medivh. And this could be, again, something we're seeing throughout the tournament. There's like 2 or 3 heroes that you always see kind of coming in and out of the meta. Medivh is a very good example of that. For a long time, you will see Medivh banned in every single game. Every single game, Medivh gets banned. If he doesn't get banned, he gets picked and wins quite a few of the games. And then at some point, teams are like, well, maybe we can let him through again. We just counter-pick him a little bit. We pick our Junkrat. We pick our Malfurion. We play around that a little bit. And then all of a sudden, Medivh more or less disappears. And then, bam, you're back to Medivh getting banned. Another hero that oftentimes went through those phases was Tyrael. He's not really in the same spot anymore that he was in the past, but if you watched HGC a lot, then you know that Tyrael popped up pretty much at every single offline event, where beforehand, in the regular competition online, he just didn't oftentimes have the same impact. But this is a good example of this. Now, Stukov also getting banned out here. Obviously, we're on Tomb of the Spider Queen, which means that AoE reigns supreme, and that's where Vala comes into play. Vala has been dropped off a little bit. We saw the rework coming in, and then a lot of the teams were immediately like, oh my god, she's insane! And then most of them looked at it as like, we don't really know, Vala, maybe not that great. Bit situational, depending on the map, so a lot of them started to drop her again, but now we're also in an offline environment where Vala can maybe do a little bit better here too. So Vala comes in, we got Brightwing on the other side for Smexy, and Jojo gets played by Berghult. Another example of a hero that after the rework didn't quite have the impact that a lot of people expected. Now this is a very good globe map for her too, so she can come in here, can really just gather globes if she goes for her level 1 and try to build that up a little bit. Now technically you could also go into Stitches and of course play around the globes as well, but Blizzard already nerfed the Hungry for More slightly, so instead of getting an additional 30 hit points you now get 25. Still great, but it's not really the same anymore, but you will end up with a very solid hit point pool towards the end of the game if you're playing that style. Now that being said, Patchwork Creation is usually the #1 talent we're seeing, but if you're playing on Tomb of the Spider Queen, Hungry for More becomes an option, because you have the lanes so close together that with decent rotations, and if you're diligent about it and disciplined, you can get a lot of globes together. But with that said, Stitches are unfortunately getting banned. No playtime! No playtime! Just as I went through the entire setup here. Chili Mountain, what are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? You're breaking my heart. I wanted to have my boy here. Anyways, now with the picks coming in, what are we getting as the main tank? What are we going for them? And what is Ultra's gonna pick? I want to see a Carrigan at some point. This could be a Carrigan. The light abandoned snowman. Always Uther. I don't know why this guy hates winter. But Anubarak, Uther, and Blaze. That's already a lot of CC, and Ultralisk is one of the guys that can play Carrigan. that is a potential carrying pick right here. And Chili Mountain knows that. They're looking at this like, wait a second. If they want to really go ham on this one, they can do that. It would also put Vala into a spot where she's obviously the only range damage dealer and would be the one that would probably not really have a lot of pressure on her. So now we got Tracer coming in and we got Urel and there's the Carrigan pick. Alright, so let's go straight into map number 3. Who takes it? Who moves on to the winner bracket final? Is it going to be 30k? Is it going to be Chili Mountain? We're going to find out together right now on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And there we go. The admin resumes the game after we had a short break, so I'm not quite sure what exactly happened. Might be that they just had some voice issues. Outside of that, it seems that things are running pretty smoothly at the event right now. On the left side of the map, Ultralisk with Kerrigan. We got X-Ray on Uther, Masquerade on Anubarak, Vala played by Dainu, and Quasar is playing Blaze. On the right side of the map, currently Chili Mountain with Gia on Urel, Azurite on Chromie, Backhold on Jojo going on level 1 into the Zealous Glare. No stacking for him. Muck on Tracer and Smexy on Brightwing. So, let's go. Now, this is going to be a bit interesting because the entire dynamic in the best of 3 series was pretty funny. This should have been a 2-0 victory. 30k were so far ahead in the first game that they had it nailed, but they just brain farted. And that resulted in Chili Mountain winning map number 1. Now, I feel like Chili Mountain performed a little bit better in game number 2, but it wasn't enough to take the blue team down. But of course, all they need is another punch in here. Lucky punch, maybe a little bit of momentum, some good play, and they can make it happen. There's a lot of aggression coming from 30k, that's undeniable. They have they have tons of CC. It's actually incredible. The CC that they have, if they can stack that on a single target, on anyone, then that hero is going to be in a mad world of trouble. Then again, if they dive in and fully commit to a fight and they are not able to take the target down, that could very quickly turn against them, and that's really where we're going to see the blind of Jojo come in, where Brightwing can make a huge difference. And let's not forget about Urel here. The Space Goat, with all the displacement that she brings to the fight, she can really make the difference. Once that the engage happens, with all the stun heroes of 30k diving into the backline, if she's in a good position and she can just deviate them away from the main target, then they could try and turn it and get a kill or two. But of course, they have to be very, very careful here. If Anubarak gets the engage and everybody else is around, then Blaze's jet propulsion will follow up exactly the way that you saw it attempted here. And Kerrigan is going to be mercilessly following with a combo, which allows everybody else to just chip in and take the target down. And they're already rotating very aggressively, trying to go down to the bottom to take the Siege Giant camp. That one is an easy pick. We've already seen them grab their own mercenary camp on the left side, so now we have the Bruisers moving straight through the middle. And they're really trying to set this up here as Urel and Kerrigan are fighting it down at the bottom of the map. A couple of stacks are coming together for Vala too, as she's going into a full-on multi-shot setup, as you would have expected here, of course. But yeah, it's a fun one. A little bit of damage done, nothing insane. Siege Giants are helping you a little bit, but Urel is already here. Gia is pushing the Siege Giants into tower range. An easy way to defend against them. Jump behind them, push them in, let the towers do the job, and then soak the wave. But over here, the attack is going straight for the blue team, so it's a little bit of a back and forth battle with the 2 Bruiser camps that were taken. And they're really going for the blows. It's also Mako, of course, trying to return the favor a little bit on the Tracer pick. Earlier it was Dainu who played it, and now we have Mako with exactly that. This is, by the way, one of the huge differences. I mean, a lot of people that come into the live chat, but even on the YouTube videos, are always asking, like, hey, like, what about like CCL European players? And again, there's a reason why you see European players pretty much not play Zeratul, Tracer, Ana, and some other heroes, because the ping disadvantage are just really significant. So they are playing with a massive handicap. But now that you're seeing them play in their own environment and an offline event to boot, yeah, you all of a sudden have heroes like Tracer and others back. Make is able to get away for just a second, but he still dies. Nice, good follow-up from Kerrigan. That is first blood. That's just awesome to see. Tracer zipping around, the chase on right away. This is beautiful right there. So we got level 7 slowly coming in. Turn-ins are, of course, slowly but surely coming through. And at that point, we got the Blue Web Beavers descending. The first objective has been locked in together with the level 7 talent. That gives us the Hot Pursuit. We now also got the Leeching Scarabs in, as Masquerade is sitting topside. Kerrigan with the 28 stacks on her level 4. 10 stacks on the level 1 for our girl, for Vala. I got Conviction in, and now the big question, how much damage can they do? It's a 5 versus 5. The defense is there. Chili Mountain is ready to burn it down. They got the range poke with Chromie and they're trying to use it, but Kerrigan at the top is already going through the wall, and at the bottom of the map, Blaze is doing the exact same thing, even though he needs to go up against Ural here. But the attack in the middle is yielding a bit of damage too. Yeah, gates down. Towers are very soon going to be dropped, and at the top side, this is some solid work. The entire wall is up. I mean, if with the first objective you get a fort, you're golden. But you don't have to. I mean, just taking the towers down, taking the gates down is already a big win. Anything else is a big bonus. Kerrigan with a combo attempt, trying to be a little bit sneaky here. Didn't quite work out. Dino attack. The Nubarak diving in case that Tracer is committing a little bit further, which wasn't the case. But now they're, of course, hoping to get even more, but it's not quite happening. Now, the fountain at the top was destroyed. It's kind of important, because once that you're able to take all of the fountains down, then you're in a really good spot, since your opponent doesn't have sustain in the middle of the map any longer, and that makes it more difficult for them to go for the turn-ins. But as we're speaking of turn-ins, we have Chili Mountain delivering the gems and trying to get the Web Weavers in play with a full 5-man. Backward got attacked, but is able to move out, so with Jojo surviving, the entire lineup is ready for them. And that's what they're currently trying to bring to the fight. Now, all the way up at the top, Kerrigan and Nubarak already getting in position for the first defense at the bottom of the map. A bit of poking happening against Equaza. Mako, of course, chipping in damage. Damage the entire time. Doing whatever he can here. And level 10 abilities are dangerously close, especially for 30k. And the lanes are pushing against them, so they will be safe to take the XP there. Blaze is facing off against 2. Doesn't like that too much, I'd assume. And in the middle of the map, yeah, they're responding in kind. But here's the level 10 abilities. Cocoon, Ultralisk. Also the quest completed for Blaze, obviously. So now we have them moving in with even the Falling Sword now being committed to by Jojo. And that can put pressure onto the backliners, of course, too. But the red team couldn't really get anything done. Good Rain of Vengeance here. Dino welcoming Tracer, but still able to recall out. Talking about panic buttons and escapes. We have the bunker up as Blaze gets attacked, and both of the teams are really starting to look for those kills. All the way up at the front here. Once again, Jet Propulsion missing. Maka paying attention. Moving out right away. Right, it's getting spicy here. And when is Jojo gonna make an approach here? Now we're gonna see Jojo make the play. Rain of Vengeance is now providing even more stuns, so they have an incredible CC chain that they can now use. I mean, just imagine the perfect scenario where you start things off with maybe a Nubarak diving in or Blaze. The second one of them follows up. You have Uther with the stun, just walks up and drops it. Kerrigan can follow up on it. Rain of Vengeance on top of it. Whoever you lock down will die if you can get that combo connected properly. But right now, it's the red team that connects. A lot of damage. Dequaza is nearly dead, but he taps the fountain, had the cooldown up, and is able to move away. Uther is moving in, so is Vala. They're trying to go for the kill. Rain of Vengeance has a lockdown. Smexy's low, and Smexy is dead. They try to go for follow-up kill, but it's only Smexy that they can take, and that is the second kill for them right here. Nicely done. I mean, check it out. Rain of Vengeance, Jet Propulsion, and then Smexy just doesn't have a chance. Gets melted away. They couldn't follow up with a kill on Maka, but the second kill for the blue team allows them now to go again for the Siege Giants. And of course, they have the freedom to move to the top turn-in point and turn their gems in. So now we're going to have a very strong push at the bottom of the map established with Siege Giants and Web Weavers, which should result in the fort being eliminated. Brightwing, obviously, is now also back to business. That's good for them. We got the Bruiser cams colliding in the middle right now. And, yep, here we go. The push at the bot lane. Blaze is already prepping it up. Nobody's defending here. That bottom fort is gone. There's no way that thing survives. Not with this double whammy push setup. And even the top lane could be in trouble considering that nobody is defending there. They're focusing on the middle first. They will rotate though. And that's what they're trying right now. But there's a talent advantage again. 30k is a little bit ahead. They got the level 13 talent. that the bot lane has just fallen. Here comes the attack. Cocoon against Urel. They're trying to go for the kill. The CC is there, but it's not enough. Smexy jumps out with a blink heal. Bakul is able to run away, but the fight isn't over yet, and the fort is still in trouble. Carrigan moved in, but they decided against it. They already accomplished what they set out to do in the first place. They pushed them away from the fort, and they were able to get it destroyed. And now they are doing even more damage in the middle with all 3 forts gone. It is a great start for the blue team, and only a matter of time until they underestimate a boss and lose the game. Kappa. Now, obviously not. I don't think that we're going to see that again. I don't think it's going to be a repetition of game number 1. That would be very shocking to me. But it is a little bit reminiscent of the first game with how they control the map now. They're looking at every single... I mean, they have every single fort still in play. Every single fort on the opponent's side has been destroyed. Which means that all of the fountains are gone, and it's just getting more and more difficult for Chili Mountain to move to the turning points and really go for a big battle here. Because the blue team can always move back and tap the fountain, maybe even pre-tap before the fight, get the overheal, and then play around that. So, it's getting a little bit thinner here for the red team. Need to be very, very careful with this. So, let's see what we're getting. And first of all, we're getting that. Dino is going for the boss. Soloing, and nobody is realizing it right now. Nobody is wondering at this point, where is Vala? Yeah, so he's just going for it. One hit after another, and it seems like he's gonna get it. Nobody has figured this out, but here's the turn in, and now they know what's happening. Now they see that the boss is not disappearing. They know what's happening, and now the blue team needs to buy a little bit of time. And here comes the jump! They're committing! Everybody's here! And the Rain of Vengeance gets hit with a cocoon already on the ground. Smex is a little bit in the corner, but he's able to jump out. At the same time, Real has to pop the ult. Everybody's on the point! Everybody wants to go for it! The blue team, they're taking Jojo down! They go for Gia! The second kill! They take the boss! And the jet propulsion! And the mad massacre as they take nearly everyone down. Market dodges. Chromie locked into a corner. It's 27 gems. Not like this. They got the turn in and then they got shit on. No, 6 kills to 0. This might have been a turnaround opportunity, but look at this battle. The kill against Johanna first as she's trying to hold the point, the quick turn to Urel, and then the jet propulsion from Dequaza. Hitting 2 targets on the escape. One made it out, the other one died. What a fight by 30k. It looked dicey. It looked dicey. Vala soloing the boss would have totally worked for them. But then, what happens? The turn in, and of course, this first thing that is happening is Chili Mountain realizing, wait a second, boss isn't disappearing, guys, even though we turned in. They are at the boss, so they went in and just chaos. Chaos ensued. But with even, I mean, Jojo had to use the ult to jump on the point in time. And this could have turned. Can you imagine the boss being taken and 2 heroes of the blue team dying in that spot? Ooh. That would have been a massive turnaround. What a fight. Blue Web Beavers are descending. Guys, before they descend, we're gonna go for that little fight again. I'm gonna show you again. Check that out. That could have turned the entire game. Everything. But the blue team just played it too well. And Dequaza's jet propulsion towards the end put the nail into the coffin. Obviously, Chromie got caught at the top left too, and that's a lot of gems that were lost. Now, there is of course a little bit of good news too. They didn't lose all of their gems because they just delivered a turn-in, but the 27 that Chromie was holding, they still hurt. They still hurt, and they hurt a lot. It's 18 against 16 now. At least we're going to have even talents in another moment. But the momentum that 30k has at this point is, of course, absolutely incredible. They are moving in for the first keeps of the game. They're pushing in the middle. They're trying to take the wall down there. 16 talents now finally available for Chili Mountain. But another attack, and Jojo, that Iron Skin, could not have come a second later. Ultralisk with the pressure, and Chili Mountain, there's cracks showing in the armor right now. Bot lane is defended. Top lane Keep is eating damage. Way too much. Marke trying to take it down, but the Keep is in trouble, and so is the one in the middle of the map. Could be the double whammy for 30k. This one is going to fall up at the top. Yes, it's going down to Chili Mountain. They didn't get a single kill this game. Woo! Yeah, this is rough. This is rough news right now for the red team. They had hopes. They had hopes to take down 30k, but it just didn't happen. It happened in game number 1. Game number 2, the blue team brought it back. Forced game number 3. They want to go to the winner bracket final. So the best of 5. And they have a 2-level advantage now. They might not have the superior numbers in terms of gems. There's still a turn around the corner for Chili Mountain. But with 2 keeps gone, you need to win a fight big time. And that's not gonna happen if you're losing your tank like this. No! Jojo gets caught and popped immediately. Doesn't stand a chance here. And it seems like we're gonna have another killer, don't we? Smexy, he's dead. This has to be the nail in the coffin. This has to be it. Look at this. They're not even going for the core. They have a 5 versus 3 with level 20, but they're like, well, maybe let's just take the keep this time. I like it. They're just like, yeah, this time we just take the keep first. We're not gonna YOLO for the core. I think, honestly, this time they could have gone for the core here, but 2 of the damage dealers are still out, so they're playing the super safe. And I can understand it. You don't want to risk anything here, but this is now enormous pressure. If they can get more kills. Rain of Vengeance, beautiful, beautiful. The kill against Chromie. Urel, she jumps out. The core is eating damage now. 42 seconds until the Chrome Star is back. This is a disaster. Core is going to eat some damage. They might not be able to finish it off completely. The question is, can they get another kill? It looks good. And indeed they do. They take Urel down. Dino dies though. Dino dies. The core is at 56% and is taking even more damage. They're looking for more kills. They're looking for a few more moves. 48, 46%. The stuns! And another move for Make, who nearly dies. Smexy jumping in, jumping out, and the Brightwing player is able to make it out of the battle. 40 points on the core. The battle is still not over. They're starting to take the right clicks again, and this should be the end of the game. Make, he's doing what he can, but there's the hit in the Quasar. Finishes him off. Well done. The 2-1 win for 30k as they take Chili Mountain down to move on to the winner bracket final.